is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Sun.
It is a Kids Sunday as they are giving away those Velcro catches right there as kids are enjoying a little game of catch afterwards with their new giveaway item, courtesy of the Tampa Bay Rays. Today, the Rays are taking on the Yankees at Tropicana Field to wrap up this three-game series. Would be nice to win the series. Most people don't work tomorrow, enjoying the Memorial Day holiday weekend. And we welcome you as we get ready for baseball on this Sunday. Todd Callis, the rest is Estrada, Doug Wechter. On a Kids Sunday, guys, we like to have little teaching tools, demonstrations. Sure. What do we have today, Doug?
Let's talk about a pitcher's best friend, the double play ball. Look, a man gets on first base. As a pitcher, my first thought is get the ground ball. If I get the ground ball, I feel like I've done my job as a pitcher.
Yeah, so the next thing is having a good defense. And I tell you, the toughest play for a first baseman is that 3-6-3. A ball kind of sharply hit at you. You know the pitcher's not going to get back. So you need a good throw and then get back and complete the double play. Good to be lefty. Good to be Logan Morrison, who's going to show you how it's done.
I'm Logan Morrison, and we're going to talk about what happens on a 3-6-3 double play. These plays are very hard to make, and I always tell people that you don't make them, the ball makes them. So what that means is the speed of the ball, speed of the runner, situations of the game, those all dictate on whether or not we're going to turn two here. The most important thing is to get that out at second base. So this is what we do. We set up, because we have a runner on first. We set up like we need to be for the pitcher if he's going to pick off. When we see he's delivering home, we take a step in and a shuffle out, making sure that we're nice, good defensive position when the ball's entering the zone, being able to move either way. Next thing we got to do is move our feet, making sure that we have a good area for us to field this ground ball. So we're going to be wide and on the balls of our feet with our glove out in front of us, throwing hand on top. So as we catch this ball, we can get the grip here. We're funneling it. Then we're placing our feet and firing at the second. Okay. On this, because we have to get back to the bag, make sure that us getting back to the bag doesn't influence where the throw goes. So make sure you follow the throw, know where it's going, it's on target, get back, and able to receive the throw. This happens very quickly, but you cannot rush. Be quick, but don't hurry. All right, so remember, when we come off the bag, when the pitch is being made, we're creating an angle for ourselves, and the speed of the ball will dictate. But if it's a slow hit ball, come get it a little more, creating more angle so you don't hit the runner with the ball. If you're right-handed, you need to get inside more. Me being left-handed, it's easier for me with the angle to hit the shortstop in the chest.
Good job, Logan, and Orestes and Doug as well. Memorial Day weekend continues on this Sunday. Thank you for spending part of your holiday with us as we get ready for the first pitch in 6.5 minutes. It will be Jake Odorizzi on the mound against Nathan Eovaldi. All the action right around the corner.
Sports Sun is brought to you by Jeep. Visit Jeep.com to learn more. By St. Luke's Cataract and Laser Institute. By Toyota. Let's go places. And by LRE Ground Services. On a Sunday afternoon, the Rays and the New York Yankees wrapping up this series even at a game apiece. On the hill for the Rays, Jake Odorizzi. It will be Nathan Eovaldi with 5 wins. The Yankees winningest pitcher.
Thank you for all your support over the years, all of our troops, and most important, the families that are dealing with missing some loved ones overseas. Thank you so much for everything you do.
I just want to wish you guys a happy Memorial Day. You know, all the troops out there, all the veterans that have served in the past, we really appreciate everything you guys have done. We love you, and God bless America.
And on this Memorial Day weekend, we are mindful of those who have given so much, sacrificed so much for all of us. We salute you today. The Rays and the Yankees square off, and headed to the mound is Jake Odorizzi to make his 11th start of the year as the Rays try to come away with the series victory. This current series even at a game apiece. Lineup for New York presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Jacoby Ellsbury leads it off in center, followed by Brett Gardner and Starlin Castro. The catcher hitting cleanup, Brian McCann, Alex Rodriguez, and then Didi Gregorius. It will be Aaron Hicks, Dustin Ackley, and Ronald Torreyes hitting ninth, playing third base.
Well, Jake Odorizzi, his record stands at 2-2. Those 2 wins coming in his last 2 starts. Looking to keep that streak going here this afternoon.
And the first pitch of this game is a strike call. So says Hunter Wendelstedt, who will be calling the balls and strikes. One and one to count.
Well, and for Jake Odorizzi, he will be looking to continue the trend of the Rays starters getting deep into ball games. Something that he did pick up the wins in the last couple of starts, but only 5 innings in each.
Missed there a curveball on the third pitch of the game, and it's 2-1.
That's one of the pitches that he wanted to incorporate more.
Finds his zone with a fastball, 2-2.
You remember back in spring training him saying that he thought that he was over-reliant upon the split change a year ago, wanted to get the curveball more involved. We've seen him with a slider that he's brought out.
Fly ball into center. Montook is there and makes the catch. That's the first out of this game.
Well, let's take a look at that Rays defense for you and see how it's going to line up this afternoon. Brought to you by Gold and Diamond Source. In the outfield left to right, we have Brandon Geyer, Mikey Montook, and Steven Souza Jr. Across the infield third to first, Evan Longoria, Brad Miller, Steve Pearce, and Logan Morrison with Kurt Casale behind the plate.
Ellsbury retired, and that gets Brett Gardner to the plate. Back in the lineup. And yesterday off, they had Hickson left yesterday. And there's a first pitch strike. Fastball around 93, 92, 93. Attempted to bunt and missed it. 0-2.
And you know what? That was the changeup for Jake, and that is a pitch that has not been where he's wanted it. It has been staying on the same plane. Good change of speed, but not a whole lot of dive to it. That one had the finish down in the dirt, and it fooled Gardner.
And a cut to miss. Followed that with a fastball. Nice job.
Yep, that's how you play those two pitches off of each other. Brett Gardner completely fooled there. He had seen the changeup on the previous pitch, and you could see right there. Caught him in between, and that's what you'll do. When you've got a good changeup and you've got a good firm fastball, you will get hitters in between, and Brett Gardner completely fooled on the final two pitches of that at-bat.
2 up, 2 down. Here's the second baseman, Castro, Starlin Castro. The pitch is a little wide. Castro 0 for 5 in yesterday's game. 0 for 9 in the series. And looks at a strike.
When you will take that pitch all day long. If you can get those called strikes, and then with Jake's ability to have that fastball elevated up above the strike zone for swings and misses, you could have a field day with this lineup.
Reaching and fouling it. Well, we've seen Hunter Wendelstedt here early give a pitch off the plate just a little bit to the left-handed hitter. Call that pitch a strike, and then that pitch down to Castro. And you're right. If the strike zone's going to be that liberal, let's go for it.
That's right. That's something that you hope that Jake and Kurt Casale recognize early.
Ellsbury retired on a fly ball to center. Gardner a strikeout. There's Kurt Casale behind the plate again after a couple of days off. 2-2 now. Jake lifetime 3-4 against New York, covering 9 appearances, 8 of those starts. 2-1 against him here at the Trop. It's wide, down and away. Full count. On deck, Brian McCann. His bat has given Odorizzi trouble in the past. 3-2 fouled away.
Well, really the one thing that's kept Jake Odorizzi from getting deeper into the games has been the pitch count. He has not been efficient as he was a year ago. We see a lot of prolonged at-bats against Jake, a lot of foul balls.
And a cut to miss. He strikes out Castro. 1, 2, 3, go the Yankees. Rays coming in to hit. Bottom of the first inning coming, no score with the Rays rolling into hit. And here is the starting lineup presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Brandon Guyer leads off, then Brad Miller and Evan Longoria. Steve Pearce hitting cleanup at second base. Logan Morrison follows him, and then Steven Souza Jr. Corey Dickerson, the DH. Mikey Matuk is in center field, and batting ninth, the catcher, Kurt Casale.
Well, taking the mound this afternoon for the New York Yankees is Nathan Eovaldi, and what the Rays offense will be up against is a pitcher who is on quite the streak right now. In his last 6 starts, 5-0 with a 2.92, and really, if you just go over his last 2 starts, they've covered 12 innings. He's given up 3 hits, not runs, 3 hits. He has been outstanding for the New York Yankees here as of late.
Always featuring a high velocity arm, and now everything else seems to be coming together to complement that. Well, here's Brandon Guyer. The first pitch starts at 97, and it's in there for a strike. Guyer over 300 to start the day at 305. Fouls this one back into the screen. 98. All right, 97, 98. We know you're here.
I mean, really, to start the game off. But you're right, Dwayne. It's not just that fastball. The fastball split combo has worked very well. And then all of a sudden, an occasional slider, a curveball early in a count to get ahead. Everything clicking.
The ball and 2 strikes. Cold Hard Facts brought to you by Clean Chris Coors Light. You see, he is second in Major League Baseball in the velocity department at 96.8. And this staff overall, when you put all the numbers together, they're a high octane staff right there at the top.
Interestingly enough, you know, this team, a lot of strikeouts, a lot of that coming from their bullpen, but Nathan Eovaldi, you know, 50 strikeouts in 54 innings, and that's even down during the course of this winning streak that he's on.
2-2.
A lot of guys don't want to wait around to get to 2 strikes off of him. Try to swing early. Has all these pitches working. He's going to get a lot of ground balls.
And a cut and a miss. That fastball. It's a nice, easy 97, 98.
Boy, it jumps on you in a hurry. Let's take a look at the Yankee defense and see how it's going to line up. Brought to you by Golden Diamond Source. In the outfield left to right, we have Brett Gardner, Jacoby Ellsbury, and Aaron Hicks. And across that infield third to first, Ronald Torres, Didi Gregorius, Starlin Castro, and Dustin Ackley, with Brian McCann behind the plate.
Brad Miller fouls it, strike 1.
How about the job that Brad Miller has done here over the past month and a half?
He's really settled in. I think you referenced it the other night. There often is that period you go to a new club and it takes you maybe that first month or so, get out of the way of that one. 1-1. That one hit 199 on our gun, 100 here at the Trop down around his ankles. Move out of that.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Do you have time?
But it certainly seems, getting back to that point on Brad Miller, that he has found his comfort zone here and has played extremely well all the way around, including the offensive side of his game.
Yep. There's no question. You know, you're coming back home. You're playing for a team that has high expectations. You're playing a marquee position. A lot of it is expected out of you. And you're right. A couple of weeks, it was a struggle for Brad. Not anymore.
Base hit the other way. In between the third baseman and the shortstop, and the Rays have a base runner.
Tell you what, Brad Miller's done a nice job of going the other way. That's something that the Rays hitters have been doing a better job all around lately. Here's the split. Not a lot of finish. It stays up, and Brad Miller, again, you pitch him away, and he has not been trying to pull that pitch. That's where you've seen that average start to climb.
Well, now it's Evan Longoria coming off a big day yesterday, including his 9th home run of the year and 4 runs batted in. Longoria with 4 lifetime at-bats against Eovaldi, 1 for 4 off him. Move to first and back in.
What a day for Evan Longoria. 4 RBI ball game. It's the first time that he's done that in over 2 years.
Yeah, since April of 2014. A breaking pitch in for a strike. In fact, his last 3 games with 4 runs batted in have all come against the Yankees.
Marquee matchup. Bright lights, big city.
He likes that stage. He leads the majors in runs batted in against the Yankees since he broke in 08. Behind now, 0-2. Slider in at 90.
Yeah, how about that? You've got to get it started early. All these hitters, they know that. And that's what makes Eovaldi so impressive and special here as of late, because he's had all those other pitches working. They all play off of each other.
Ball, 2 strikes, fastball wide. Steve Pearce is on deck. Brad Miller, the base runner. Ground ball to short. Gregorius. Castro on first base. Safe at first. Well, Miller forced at second.
And Miller forced a throw here by Castro that he was not able to get enough on it to complete the double play. He comes in hard and see Castro kind of float that throw. Wasn't really able to step into it and drive that ball to Ackley. And that allowed, see right there, Castro just not able to step into the throw. And there wasn't enough on it. Evan Longoria is able to get there safely, and this inning continues.
Yankees for a moment thought they might want to have another look at that one, but decided against it.
And really, that's about all you can do with these new slide rules. You really can't take the guy out anymore if he's behind the bag, but what you can do is keep him from really stepping into the throw.
Steve Pearce takes a strike. Yankees defense Pearce with Castro straight up the middle, a couple of steps maybe to the shortstop side now. The runner is Longoria. One and two. They've been reaching on the what turned out to be the fielder's choice. Did Pearce go? He did, says Gabe Morales, and that will retire the side. Rays get a hit, leave a man, do not score. We go to the second inning, 0-0. today at the Trop. $2 Kids Ticket Tuesdays presented by Morgan Auto Group continues Tuesday, June 14th when the Rays take on the Mariners. All kids 14 and under get $2 tickets with the purchase of a full price paid adult ticket. Call 888-FAN-RAYS or visit raysbaseball.com/specials. Brian McCann, the New York catcher, leads off. And the first pitch, a breaking ball. Curveball, and he takes that for a ball. McCann is 12 of 20 with 3 career home runs. Look at that. 3 doubles and even a triple. Takes a big cut there, and the count is 1-1. So he has been troubled for Odorizzi.
Well, and that's why you see him in the cleanup spot. Getting that ball. They see that ball was down. And he drove out of there. Jake was able to power that second pitch of the at-bat. The fastball up in the zone to him. May see him go back to that right here.
The chop right side from short right. Pierce positioned out there will throw him out.
Now you're not worried about Brian McCann's speed, so that allows Steve Pierce in that shift to play way deep. That was almost a ground ball to right field.
First man retired in the second. Here's another look. You can see where Pierce started out there. Alex Rodriguez stepping in. Rodriguez just off the disabled list and back in the middle of this lineup. And a big home run in the 6th inning here Friday night. 0 for 5 yesterday. And the pitch is a strike. Foul over the screen, 0-2. Down a ball, 2 strikes. Odorizzi over the last couple starts, 5 innings each against the Blue Jays and the Marlins, giving up a total of 4 hits, 2 runs in those 10 hits, or those 10 innings. And a wave and a miss. He strikes out Alex Rodriguez. Yeah, to chase a bit.
Well, and it was set up by the previous pitch, which was the changeup down below the zone. He took that one, then he climbs the ladder with the fastball. And right now, you really like that combination of pitches by Jake Odorizzi. He's elevating well, and the changeup has that finish that we're used to seeing.
Yeah, with a changeup like that, what a combination that can be. It bodes well going forward for Odorizzi. Gregorius fouls the first pitch fastball. That went at the top of the zone.
Well, what allows him to play those pitches off each other is pitching out in front, too, and he's been getting ahead of hitters.
And he's ahead of Gregorius, 0-2. Well, overall this year, that has not been the case with Jake. He has averaged a little over 18 pitches an inning compared to a little over 16 pitches an inning last year. You think, well, that's only a couple of pitches. What does that matter? But it makes a big difference.
It's taken an inning off of what he, 2 years ago, Jake averaged about 5 1/3 innings a start. He wanted to get deeper into games, so he made some adjustments, was more efficient. Last year, he averaged over 6 innings a start. This year, back to 5 1/3.
Fly ball into right. Suzy Jr. waiting for this one. 1, 2, 3. Go the New York Yankees. Logan Morrison will open the bottom half of inning 2 scoreless. And a half, the Rays and the Yankees. Take a quick look at the Toyota keys to success for the Rays. Most home runs in a month. Well, they have hit 43 home runs here in the month of May, the most they've ever hit in club history. In September of 2012, they hit 44 home runs. And so they have a couple of days to eclipse that mark. Rays tied with the Mets for the major league lead in home runs overall with 70. First time the Rays have ever found themselves in that position on this date. And here is Logan Morrison to lead off the home half of the second. And that breaking ball right there drops in, strike one.
And that's how he likes to use that pitch. Not a real put away pitch, but he will use it for an early strike. It gives you a different look and it allows him to get the jump in the count.
Upstairs, 1-1. Yeah, a little different than the first pitch Brandon Geyer saw. First couple pitches were 97 and 98 to start the game. And you can see how effective that breaking ball at 72 might be. Something with a wrinkle from this guy.
Think about yesterday. Michael Pineda. The difference, you know, the top to bottom of his arsenal is about 10 miles an hour. And then how about 98, 99, 72? You almost have to cover 30 miles an hour.
Morrison, a foul tipped strikeout. And then there's that one sort of in between.
Yeah, well, different, you know, MPH is on the breaking ball, and he got ahead with it. All of a sudden got a swing and a miss from Logan Morrison, and then went right back to it with success.
So he's already 72 to 99. He's an inning and a third into the game. Already giving you a lot to think about.
Yep.
It's more than just heat with this guy. Steven Souza Jr. takes it down and away for a ball. Souza, a couple of hits and 4 at bats against Eovaldi in his career. One and one. Two balls and a strike. Rays left a man aboard in the first inning. Two. Rays saw Eovaldi twice last year, and they managed to get to him. They scored 4 runs and 7 1/3 off him in May last year, and then later in the season, early September, they got 3 runs and 5 1/3 off him. Both those outings resulted in Rays wins. Walk and a base runner with 1 gone in the second. Eovaldi lifetime against the Rays coming in 0-2 based off those 2 decisions last year. And the one in September came here at the Trop, which he went 5 1/3. Now Corey Dickerson. Dickerson, the DH today for the Rays. 2 hits in yesterday's game. Strike 1.
We're ready to swing, and that's why you saw Brian McCann, a veteran catcher, game caller, call for that slider, and then he wanted it backdoor. Didn't want it working into the swing of Corey Dickerson, knowing that he's aggressive and knowing that looking for that fastball, he's going to be more apt to swing than just about anybody. Throw over here.
Souza's back in.
Keeping his eye. You know, there has not been a stolen base attempt against Eovaldi this year, which is very rare for a right-handed starting pitcher to not even have an attempt.
He has a pickoff, but no attempted steals. The foul ball back on the fastball. Takes the count to 0-2.
Well, we saw in the pickoff attempt with Brad Miller that Eovaldi's got quick feet. Quick feet and accurate getting that throw over there. That's going to keep guys close.
He has 11 pickoffs in his career.
Yeah, that's something. When you're a right-handed pitcher and you can run off, you know, pickoff numbers like that, run up those kind of stats, that just shows you that you work at it. You put the time in.
The first again on Souza Jr. Souza 2 of 4 in the running department this year.
I'll tell you the other way that a right-hander can control the running game is when you come set. You don't get into the pattern of come set, pause, kick, and go. Hold the ball sometimes, like he's doing right now.
And he gets Dickerson. Foul tip strikeout on the fastball. Second strikeout. Third strikeout. It's a fourth strikeout. He had 2 in the first. Second strikeout here in the second inning. So 4 strikeouts already.
And how about the location on this heater? Right at the belt, in off the plate. He worked Corey Dickerson right across the strike zone. Started him away and then just came right in.
Mikey Mautook. Upstairs. Well, in the first couple of innings from Eovaldi today, you can see why he's run off 5 wins. In his last 6 starts, he has 5 wins and a no decision. And he continues to keep an eye on Souza Jr.
Not getting lazy mentally. We've seen the good fastball. He's been pretty good with it both sides of the plate. The breaking balls.
Ground ball, backhanded by Torreyes. Throw to first. Got him. That's quite a play by Torreyes. Mautook making a bid for a potential extra base hit if that gets by the New York third baseman.
Boy, and with 2 outs, you look at a chance for maybe a run, but Torreyes, a nice dive, and then play the bounce.
Tropicana Field, scoreless. The Rays are hoping to soon get back their American League saves leader from last year, Brad Boxberger. Boxberger recovering from the adductor surgery. Last appeared in a minor league game on Friday. There's no other scheduled rehab assignments right now, which is a good sign. No official word from the Rays, but Brad Boxberger could be seen as early as Monday on this road trip, guys.
First pitch to Aaron Hicks, roll to the right side. He's out on the ground ball, handled by Pierce. Well, the Rays have been looking for some depth in the bullpen, and in that regard they have certainly missed Boxberger.
Let's not forget, this is the guy who led the American League in saves last year. That's going to be quite the addition, and Kevin Cash said that he's going to ease him back into that closer's role. We'll see exactly how that works out, but definitely a welcome addition, no question about it. High leverage.
Yeah, what a great job Colomé has done. And Boxberger found himself in a similar situation, taking advantage of an opportunity, and led the league in saves last year.
Well, that seems to be a staple of the Rays bullpen, constantly being remade, guys constantly stepping up and getting the job done.
Line drive off the bat of Ackley, caught by Morrison. Little leap down there by Logan to grab it. 2 up and 2 down.
Logan Morrison was he was feeling that that ball was harder hit than it was. It looked like a changeup got off the end of the bat, and so you're going to go for the jump and then realize he kind of hit you a knuckleball.
Yeah, but he's got that prolonged hang time. Stayed up there until it got down there, and he made the catch.
Watching some playoff basketball.
Torreyes takes the pitch, and that's in there for a strike. Ronald Torreyes entered the game yesterday in right field. Playing third base today. 0-2. He came into the game when Carlos Beltran left with some tightness below his right shoulder blade in yesterday's game. Upstairs, 1-2. Couple of veterans right there. Carlos Beltran, Alex Rodriguez. Torreyes fouls this one back. Yankees also playing without Mark Teixeira. He'd had some neck spasms. Originally they talked about maybe he could be available today, but that didn't work out. They're not really quite sure because he was having trouble turning his neck at all. Torreyes fouls this one to hang in there at a ball, 2 strikes. Jake Godorizzi on the hill. Teixeira. This one is down 2-2 with that neck spasm. Anybody talks to him, the whole body turns. He had no mobility at all in that neck.
Well, and think about what that affects. Everything that you do, every movement that you make. That's like anything that you deal with. Any oblique issues with all the torque that you put on your body and all that side-to-side movement. And then you think about back and neck. You've got to treat those injuries very, very carefully.
3-2, he got him. Went up with a fastball to strike him out. That's 4 strikeouts for Odorizzi the first time through. No score. Great moment on this day in 2012. Hideki Matsui makes his Rays debut and hits a go-ahead 2-run home run in the 4th inning. Bottom of the 3rd, Kurt Casale will lead off for the Rays against Nathan Eovaldi. One ball, no strikes. One ball, one strike. Sally with 5 home runs, 14 runs batted in. Facing the hard-throwing right-hander, who is more than just that. Got that pitch in on him, pops him up. How about a fastball at 97 or 98 in? Castro out there from second base and short center making the catch.
You know, and the Yankees are hopeful that this is the season that Eovaldi really puts it all together. He certainly has in his last 6 starts for this extended stretch. But you think about what he's capable of with the stuff that he has. But it's been one start, the fastball's good, the split's inconsistent, the breaking ball's not there. Well, if he can really start to mature, put those pitches together and have 2 or 3 working every time he goes out to the mound, there's no reason he cannot continue this success.
Brandon Guyer taking a strike. Well, he was originally drafted by the Dodgers and broke into the big leagues with the Dodgers in 2011. Shot right back over the mound. Castro knocked it down but couldn't find a handle on it. Well, that was a shocking return off the bat of Guyer for Eovaldi, who just got out of the way.
Yeah, how? Oh, man. And almost a heck of a play by Castro there to get to it one, but he just couldn't cleanly grab it. That ball, I mean, how it missed Eovaldi.
You know, we've talked a lot about Guyer and what he's done for this club this year. And one of the things he's done is consistently hit the ball hard. I mean, he's hit some shots, and that was one right there.
Exit velocity.
Yes. Very big. Very important.
Well, listen, he gave Eovaldi a taste of his own medicine. Guys get tired of standing up there seeing 95 to 99 come at him, so send some back at him.
Guyer takes off, and Miller chops it down to first. Guyer moves into scoring position. Rays putting a man in motion there.
Well, you've not been able to sit back and tattoo Eovaldi, not in this latest stretch. And we mentioned his last 2 starts, he's given up a total of 3 hits in 12 innings. So you're going to have to be aggressive and try to make some things happen. The Rays do there. It comes out to, a ground out, but you do have a man in scoring position now. And a base hit could give you a lead.
Yeah, and, if a team can do that against a guy like this, you got 2 outs now, a man in scoring position. You score a run. What a lift that is for you against a tough pitcher like this. So we'll see what Evan can do. 0 for 1 and 1 of 5 in his career against Eovaldi. Tough right-hander out there today. This one a check swing, and McCann can't find the ball. Guyer goes to third, makes a turn, and puts on the brakes.
That would have been fun.
Whoa.
That ball hung up in the air for a long time, and Brian McCann just had no idea where it was. And Brandon Guyer, it's the split. And you get the swing right there, and up and it goes. Another ball that's going to be down in the dirt that is not attempted to be blocked. It tried to backhand it, and that's what can happen. That ball rolls right up your arm high into the air, and Brandon Guyer, for a split second there, gave it a thought.
Well, that's going to go as a strike on Longoria. Wild pitch moving the runner over. Upstairs, 1-1. The Toyota inside look. We touched on a little of this earlier in the game and what he's done since breaking in 2008 against New York.
Well, you mentioned it. I mean, he loves the big moments. The big.
There's a soft liner the other way, and the Rays are out in front. Longoria comes through, and the Rays have a 1-0 lead. Boy, presented with an opportunity, the Rays cash in. That's that lift we were talking about.
And that is a big lift because Eovaldi's been so tough here over the last month. Split stays up. Evan gets inside of it. And guess what? He adds to those numbers.
Well, Geyer had scorched one over the mound. You don't always have to hit it hard, as Evan just made that point there. Cut and a miss by Pierce, and he gets the job done. Big day yesterday for Evan. Right back with a run batted in, his second time up today. You really got to work for your runs against this guy. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pierce struck out, tried to check on a fastball in the first inning. Couldn't check again. Now it's 1-2. That pitch, it's a breakdown.
I think that was another split, and we've seen him throw some good ones. We've seen some that have hung. That pitch to Longoria was a split that hung up. Brad Miller got one into left field in his first at bat.
Fly ball, right field. Hicks backs up. Still backpedaling a bit to make the catch. Rays are out, but they get a run. Driven home by Evan Longoria. 1-0 Rays. Greater coverage of baseball brought to you by T-Mobile. You know, this Yankee ball club has some age on it, but that might soon start to change when you look at all of those numbers. A lot of money, and you can see where they are in terms of contracts coming to an end.
Yeah, how about that? A lot of age, a lot of money. You know, the Yankees have made some moves to try to get younger, you know, bringing in a Starlin Castro and a Didi Gregorius to try to balance out some of that age and hope for one last big run.
Top of the order, Jacoby Ellsbury takes a soft pitch, breaking ball for a strike. Ball in around 70. Ellsbury started the day 6 of 22 in his career against Odorizzi. He followed that breaking ball with the fastball. Gets ahead, 2 strikes. Nice job the first time through the lineup of mixing those pitches.
Yeah, he set that tone in that first inning. We saw all 4 of his pitches, and he's continued to mix very well. A nice range right there. The other thing that's been impressive is we're, 1 ball, 2 strikes into the 4th inning, 42 pitches. So he has been the model of efficiency here early on.
Let's foul back. When a guy who has Odorizzi's stuff, the assortment of pitches, when they're working, he's not fun to try to hit against, but he's really fun to watch.
Yeah. Has a nice idea of how to mix and match what's working, what plays off of each other. His mechanics remain very simple.
And he strikes out Ellsbury on the off speed.
And dare I say, the changeup here this afternoon is the best we've seen it maybe all season. Look at the finish. That's what's not been happening with that pitch. And
yeah, if he can take that out there with him every time, oh, look out.
Well, those extended at-bats that we've seen,
those disappear.
Those won't happen. That's right.
Yeah. Well, that's 10 in a row he's retired. He's racked up 5 strikeouts in those 10 hitters. 1-0 now the count to Brett Gardner. Gardner was the first of those strikeouts. Sends this one the other way to Geyer in left. And that is out number 2. Well, get in on the action with exclusive on-field seating in the Papa John's bullpen box. Host your group of 50 to 85. It's a private party area, and you can make long-lasting memories. Reserve the Papa John's bullpen box by calling 888-FAN-RAYS or emailing group sales at RaysBaseball.com. Limited dates remain. 2 gone in the 4th. Here's Starlin Castro fouling the first pitch fastball back out of play. Odorizzi making his 11th start, coming in 2-2 with a 346 earned run average. Two, he goes up. And Castro can't get up there quickly enough.
Well, he has been good at both the top and bottom of the strike zone and even beyond.
Up even more that time.
See how far he's willing to go. When you get the count is in your favor at 0-2, majorly in your favor. So go ahead, take a shot up there. If he goes, great. If he doesn't, you're still in control, and you can go back to something else. You can go back below the zone.
Fouled away.
This right here, with the amount of pitches that have been in the middle and up in this at bat, he could go to that split changeup right here, and this inning's over. Get the finish on it. You're going to swing right over the top of it.
Up the middle. Pierce position right there. A 1-2-3 inning. 12 up and 12 down for Jay Odorizzi. Bottom of the 4th coming. 1-0 Tampa Bay. bottom of the fourth. MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, delivers everything you've come to expect and more. Watch every out-of-market game live in HD on over 400 supported devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. Logan Morrison to open the Rays fourth. Big shift on for him. Takes the pitch for a ball.
Play the odds, Dwayne. You got to play the odds.
Missed the fastball.
I always like when they get fancy with it too. You take Ronald Torreyes from third and you put him. This is right here. This is Castro.
Yep. So Torreyes, who finished yesterday's game playing right field, is back playing right field right now.
That's exactly right.
So he should be comfy out there. 1-2 on Morrison. Souza Jr. will be next, and then Dickerson.
Well, the one thing that you're concerned with making that quick transition is you get a ground ball to him out there, he might just throw it into second base.
You're trying to hit the cutoff man somewhere. Close, 2-2. Yeah, you don't want to miss the cutoff man out of the shift.
It's frowned upon by management.
Yeah, cutoff man doesn't even know where to go during the shift. Ground ball to first. Ackley makes the play unassisted. I know you have all kinds of creative defensive alignments.
Well, that's the pitcher's responsibility to cut it off.
We've seen that. I don't know that it was planned.
But you never know.
Yeah.
With all the defensive nonsense going on nowadays, you don't know.
You just have to report where they are.
That's it.
That's it. Yeah.
Try to be fair and balanced.
Try to be. Steven Souza Jr. up here with the bases empty and 1 out. Foul out of play. 1 strike to count. Braves hit the road after this game. They'll be gone for a while. I checked the projected temperatures on this next road trip, by the way. Rays go to Kansas City, then to Minnesota, and then to Arizona. The projected low on one of those nights, I think it's in Minnesota, is 56. The projected high in Arizona, 109.
109?
Yep. So the span could be 56 to 109 for the Rays on this 3-city road trip, the high and low.
That's a lot of degrees to cover.
Yep.
Makes it difficult.
Well, we've got 2 or 3 trunks just with sweaters and then little T-shirts and other locales.
Well, it's getting to 1. I remember playing for Arizona. We would be driving home after a ball game. It's 11:30 at night, 11:45. And it'd still be 100, 99 degrees.
But it's a dry heat.
Yeah, you know what? The next guy that says that ought to be punched.
Strike 3 call on Souza Jr.
Here's what you got to take into account. I mean, there's not a lot of grass in Phoenix. You get out to Phoenix, it's a concrete city. So while they give you 109, 112, 113, it's $125 coming off the ground. So don't give me this garbage about dry heat. If I can crack an egg and fry it in a couple of minutes on the sidewalk, that's hot.
Here's the deal. Heat's heat.
Yeah.
But they do have a little more humidity out there than they used to, because people who moved there to get away from that because of allergies and all that, then they started to put in lawns. Then you had to water the lawns and grow all the grass, and then you had all the problems pop up that they moved there to forget.
They wanted to go out to the dusty trail, the Old West.
That's it.
Tombstone stuff.
Want to know the count on Dickerson. So the Rays will be seeing the Diamondbacks at the end of this next road trip. Hey, here's another thing I'm kind of looking forward to when we go to Kansas City. I think Tuesday, the first round of All-Star balloting results come out. See how many Royals are there.
Oh, right. That little,
yeah.
Start the whole team.
Yeah. So that'll be fun. They have some injuries,
I was going to say, all those All-Stars are on the DL.
Yeah. Moustakas is gone. And we'll see what Perez, he had that collision. They're checking him out.
I had heard on the Perez deal, they were saying a minimum of 7 to 10 days.
Yep.
Probably won't see him. Gordon.
Yeah, that's 3. 2-2. Rays will open that series tomorrow night with Matt Andriese on the hill. You know, they're saying a left quad contusion. That came down around the knee, too, which gets a little frightening. And then Moustakas and Gordon.
That's an awful lot of production right there. Big names.
Dickerson on the ground to second. Castro floats the throw to first and gets it over there in time. 3 up, 3 down. Go the Rays. We're headed into the 5th. 1-0.
Affording us the world that we live in and allowing us to do the things that we're able to do. So thank you so much for everything you do for our country.
Happy Memorial Day to all the current soldiers, retired soldiers, everything. You guys have done a tremendous debt to this country. We really appreciate it, and I appreciate all that you've done for the past and the future. So thank you very much. Have a great day.
And we go to the 5th inning with Brian McCann leading off for New York. Taking the pitch up and away. McCann, Rodriguez, and Gregorius due up for the Yankees in this frame. Strike, it's 1-1. Fouled back. Rays got McCann on the shift back in the 2nd inning. And they again appears in short right field as they face him to lead off the 5th. 2-2. 50 pitches through the front 4 for Odorizzi.
So far ahead of schedule.
Foul out of play. He's got a couple full counts out of that. Very efficient so far. Fly ball, that's headed into left, and Geyer closes to make the catch. That's the first out. Well, in honor of Memorial Day weekend, Fox Sports Supports proud to team up with emerging vets and players dedicated to ensuring our nation's warriors can be as productive off the field as they were on it by joining combat veterans with former athletes to form a common bond over dedication and teamwork. Visit FoxSportsSupports.com to learn more. The Rays honored and proud on this Memorial Day weekend to host wounded veterans from the James A. Haley VA Hospital in Tampa. Rodriguez fouls one. Today's event part of the great work from the retired military officers who are members of Operation Helping Hand. The Rays and Fox Sports Sun saluting and thanking all veterans everywhere. A little toss to first there by Odorizzi.
I've never seen a toss that far before. I mean, Jake Odorizzi pops off the mound. He's getting some ribbing there by Evan Longoria. Right here, got it. Okay, not going to run it over, not going to throw it over. I'm going to give you the old.
He had a lot of time. He took his time. Took advantage of Rodriguez going down the line. No urgency. Make sure we just give you a little toss.
You think he's going to get worn out about that?
Oh, there's no question. Pitch to D.D. Gregorius is low. 1 ball, no strikes. Sometimes it just, there's a feeling you get.
I guess.
That this is the way to do it.
I've never seen it.
No, me neither.
I've seen the underhand flip, not from the mound.
Yeah.
From the mound.
2-0.
That was the one technique not tried with Matt Garza. Did you remember when he went to?
Oh wow, yeah. Yeah, that was an issue.
He had that. Where did he go? Where he had that shutout, 2 outs in the 9th, and a comebacker. It was when he was with the Cubs early in the season. Got a comebacker, and he threw that ball halfway between first base and home plate, about 12 rows deep.
Yeah, there's been a guy heckling him all afternoon. He finally got him. 2-2 the count to Gregorius.
They pulled him after that.
Yeah.
So he never even got the shutout. He went 8 2/3 of shutout ball. He turned and fired that ball into the stands, and it wasn't even close. And they came and got it.
Isn't that amazing?
It is amazing.
Inexplicable.
It is. It is. You can stand out here where Jake is right now and throw pitches right where you want to, and all you got to do is get it close at first base, and you can't do it.
Gregorius just got that one off his foot.
Yeah, that one he hammered into himself pretty good.
Yeah, but it's really amazing
to
see that, and how many pitchers, if you start to think about through the years, the pitchers you've seen, known, all of that, more than you would think.
We've seen a lot of it this year. It's like anytime you ask a pitcher to do something at 50, 60, 70%, the command is just not there. I mean, they try to lollipop a throw to first. I think it'll pop out high, hot, or they'll overcompensate, spike it into the ground. All you got to do is throw it to a 6 foot, in this case, a 6 foot 4 inch first baseman with some wingspan.
Pretty good target over there.
Don't have to hit a corner. You don't have to work off the edge. Just get it around him, and it can be a challenge at times.
Gregorius, a little piece of that one. The count holds at 2-2. Yeah, I mean, accomplished pitchers, like you're saying. They spot up a pitch anywhere in the zone.
Yeah.
From 60 feet 6 inches, but they can't throw it to a guy 6'4" at first base. A little high, and he lays off, and the count is full. 2 outs in the 5th. Rizzi went 1, 2, 3 in the 1st, the 2nd, the 3rd, the 4th. 2 gone in the 5th. And a pop fly into short left. Geyer is there. And another 1, 2, 3 inning. That's 15 up and 15 down for Odorizzi to start this game. Rays players need your support to get to the 2016 MLB All-Star Game. So go to RaysBaseball.com/vote to submit your ballot for all your favorite Rays players. You can vote up to 5 times every day. Go to RaysBaseball.com/vote now. Where else can you vote 5 times every day?
Chicago, Dwayne.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, that's allowed. Mikey Matuk, and he bounced it back and out of play. Strike one.
That was too easy.
Yeah, so get on that thing and vote 5 times a day. They're apparently doing it in Kansas City.
That's right. Remember last year they had almost the entire team.
Yeah. Here's a strike. That's why initially, fans used to vote for the All-Star team all the time, and Cincinnati did that. Got to the point where they said, look, you can't put these guys on. You got Willie Mays and Hank Aaron. Guys like that need to be on the All-Star team too. So the fan vote was diminished significantly because of that.
Makes sense.
Took out on strikes. He's 0 for 2. Rays got the only run of the game in the 3rd with 1 out when Geyer hit the ball hard over the mound. So hard that Castro behind the bag at second really couldn't handle it cleanly. Before that inning was over, Geyer scored on a base hit to right by Evan Longoria. Here's Kurt Casale. Ground ball. Castro, you could see he was uncertain from the outset, and they're still going to get him. The call at first by Gabe Morales says Casale is out, and the Rays might want to take a look at that. But you could see how uncertain Castro was from the beginning.
Well, because that ball, and if we go back to contact, that ball was off the end of the bat. It had some English on it coming off the bat by Casale. He was out in front on a breaking ball, and I think he's going to be safe. Right here, what a little bit of English right there. Tried to surround the ball and never got it clean. Kurt Casale, listen, he's not a speedster, but he is hustling like crazy, and he does beat it. Clearly, he's going to be safe. But, Dwayne, you and I were talking about that in between innings. The one thing that we've noticed about this Rays lineup is these guys are getting out of the box and running hard to first every single AB.
Yeah, that's right. And, that's easy to say it's a reflection on the manager, but it is. This team's playing hard, but they have that feeling, I think, as a unit.
Yeah.
And they're going to bust it, and we see that all the time. And indeed, Casale is safe at first base. So that call overturned. The Rays get a base run.
And you bring that up because even the guys that aren't plus runners are busting it. And guess what it gets you? A base runner right here.
Castro charged with an error. It's his 3rd of the year. So Casale aboard. Geyer bounces it foul. Strike 1. Average up to 308. Shorten's on the bat, takes the pitch for a ball. 1-1. Rays lost the first game of the series Friday night 4-1. Won 9-5 yesterday. That's a shot back into left. Pretty well tagged over Gardner's head. Off the wall. Casale's going to go to 3rd, into 2nd. A double for Geyer. Oh, he timed up that breaking ball really well and hit it hard again.
He recognized it. You know, he got that front foot down, kept the hands back, waited, and then dove into this baseball. Watch that front foot comes down, recognition. Boy, oh boy, that was a pretty swing. And a great job of pitch recognition by Brandon Guyer. Everything working there, and he drives that ball. Now you've got a chance to add on to that lead. Second and third, one out. The hustle of Casale. Good hitting there of Guyer.
Well, the Rays have a great opportunity here, and that's the point you make is a great point. That's why you hustle on every play, as Casale did there. You don't know what the next guy's going to do, and suddenly you've got 2 men in scoring position against a tough right-hander.
And how many at-bats do you get in a game?
Yeah.
Between 3 and 5 on average?
Yeah. So get after it.
It's not asking too much.
That's right. So Brad Miller takes the pitch down and in. Miller singled his first time, a base hit the other way to left. Big opportunity. I figure you might not get too many against this guy. Two and 0. Only 5 and 2. Dropped his first 2 decisions, and now has won his last 5. Had a no decision in that run of 6 games, 5 wins and a no decision. Three and 0. It's down again. Yankees in their first series of a 10-game road trip. The Rays will be starting a long road trip tomorrow. Now 3 and 0. And that's strike 1. On deck, Evan Longoria. Miller pops it toward the line and left. Gardner in foul territory. And the throw back down the line. The Rays runners have to remain. So Miller is the second out. Gardner handling that.
Here's Brett Gardner, foul territory. Going to come up throwing. Casale's got to get back to the bag because Torreyes is going to be able to make that catch and try to tag him. Oh, all that does is get the Rays RBI machine to the plate.
Yep. Here's Evan Longoria, who singled in the run in the third. Evan 1 for 2. Pitch, strike call. Pitch in. Here's the base hit that drove in the run.
Inside out on a changeup, drop it in. That was after the Rays put Brandon Guyer in motion on a ground out by Brad Miller.
Baldy with the count running in his favor. Fly ball into right. That'll send Hicks back to the track, and he has room to make the catch. Longoria hit it a long way to the opposite field. We had it at 99. The scoreboard had that pitch at 100. And Longoria just didn't quite get all of it. And the Rays Missed an opportunity. They leave 2. We're through 5. 1-0 Tampa Bay.
You know, the changeup, he's been looking for more consistency from that pitch. Take a look at these. Just bottoming out. Been a huge pitch for Jake here this afternoon. Listen, he's been good with everything, but that changeup has really taken a step forward. He's getting a lot of bite, a lot of finish with it, and that has allowed him to make quick work of these Yankee hitters.
15 up, 15 down through the first 68 pitches of this game for Jake Odorizzi. Aaron Hicks leads off. He grounded out to second. And a 1-pitch at bat in the third. Takes the breaking ball for ball 1. It's up. Fastball 2-0. Out of play the other way. Two and one. That squares the count. 2-2. Been a great pitching matchup so far with Eovaldi against Odorizzi. Ground ball, right side. That'll take care of Hicks to start the 6th. One gone. This summer, some of the biggest names in soccer converge on the U.S. for the 100th anniversary of one of the world's biggest tournaments. Coverage of the Copa America Centenario begins June 3rd across the networks of Fox Sports. That's a strike into Ackley. Ackley lined to first in the 3rd inning. One and one. Fastball. 1-2.
A rare miss. You know, they're trying to go away there. That pitch got yanked across the plate and up. Still get the swing and a miss. Jake Odorizzi has really been on point, not only with the pitches, but with the location all afternoon.
2-2. Yeah, that pitch that he missed on, in terms of velocity, might have been his high water mark so far today. That was 94, 95. I mean, popped that one pretty good. And now full count. That's a close pitch right there, and he didn't get the call.
Yeah, that absolutely should have been. You see, it's outside of the body, though, of Casali. We talk about that all the time. A lot of times those pitches do not get called.
Fouled right back over the screen. Well, you see that fifth pitch right out there on the corner.
Yeah.
Another 3-2. Ground ball. Miller up with it. The throw. Safe at first. The call on the scoop by Morrison. Well, Morrison had to scoop that throw. And let's take a look.
Just a little hesitation getting the ball out. Drive the throw. Boy, that is close. This will be a good shot. That ball in the back of the glove right there. You know, you may get him here.
Yep. Well, the Rays are going to have him take a look.
Yeah. I mean, that ball hits the back of Logan Morrison's glove. And it looks like that foot is not quite to the bag. It'd be interesting to see how this one turns out. They got a chance.
Right now, the ruling is an error on the throw. And the call safe at first. Yep.
You may get him. I'm telling you, you got a chance here.
You know, because they can break that down frame by frame.
Yeah, hard to tell there because of Logan Morrison's left foot. You know, you're going to say, well, you can't see the whole bag. But that other shot we had, that ball you could see go into the glove and right here. Watch the ball into the glove right there. Is that, I mean.
Yeah, and if the Rays do get this call, they've had to go a long way around to get him because it appeared they had him on strikes on that pitch.
Yes.
At the knees on the outside corner that went for a ball. And a couple of 3-2 pitches followed. And that one put into play. Miller's throw down a bit at first. Morrison had to scoop it. And he's going to stay at first. And that's the first base runner of the game for New York. So an error charged to Miller.
I thought that angle right there gave him the best chance. Guess not.
So Ackley's the first base runner of the game for New York. Comes one out into the sixth inning on a very close call. Here's Torreyes, the third baseman. Sending a fly ball up the right side. Souza Jr. over the bullpen mound, but it's out of play. Jake Odorizzi working out of the stretch for the first time today. Too high. 1-1. He scored their run in the third, missed an opportunity in the bottom of the fifth for more. Oh, they almost picked him off. That was very close. He just about caught him leaning the wrong way. Thought they had him for a moment.
Yep. You see Logan Morrison dropping that tag quick. The tag's up near the shoulder, right there. And he definitely was going to be on the move.
One count. Ground ball. Pierce. Miller one. First base two. He throws the double play ball. 4-6-3. That erases Ackley. Gets Torreyes at first to end the inning on this double play. Still faced only the minimum. Rays lead 1-0. Get ahead in the bottom of the 6th inning. Rays scored their run in the 3rd, driven in by Evan Longoria. And in the 6th, Steve Pearce will lead it off. Then Logan Morrison and Steven Souza Jr. against Nathan Eovaldi. Pitch is a ball. Pierce is struck out, hit a fly ball to right field his last time. Into the dirt, 2-0. Pierce hit his first home run of the year at the end of April on the 24th at Yankee Stadium. And has continued to be a solid hitter for the Rays. 8 home runs total. Ground ball through the open right side. Rays have the leadoff man aboard.
Take your base hit the other way. You're going to shift around on you like that. You're going to pitch away, take it into right field, leadoff man aboard, like you said. You're looking for a little bit of a cushion here. Play him to pull, pitch him away, take advantage.
Now Logan Morrison. Morrison with a strikeout and a ground out. Rays tried to get a little extra cushion in the 5th, but left 2 men in scoring position. There's a base hit into center field for Morrison, sending Pierce down to 2nd. So the Rays have put the first 2 men aboard. First time that's happened in an inning today.
Well, this is the true definition of hit them where they ain't. Right here, you see how they're playing Logan Morrison wide open up the middle the other way, 1 defender. So you know what? You get a pitch out over the plate away from you, hammer it back through the hole.
Steven Souza Jr. with a walk and a strikeout on the day. Came into the game 2 for 4 against Eovaldi. in his young career. Fastball. Ball one. That one appeared to be on the corner. Souza got the call there. One and one. Uvalde with 83 pitches to this point. Working in the sixth. Gone 6 innings in each of his last 2 outings. And he gets the strike zone there. It's 1 and 2. Pitch count pretty good all day. He's averaged a little over 16 pitches an inning for the year. And is ahead in the count. Souza takes ball 2, 2-2 now.
Continues to try to light him up with the heat away.
On deck, Corey Dickerson. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. So he continued to work him away and got the call out there.
Now one after the other, and this one maybe the best of the bunch, right on the corner. Triple digits on this.
One away for Dickerson.
Yeah, he needed that too, because the Rays here threatening a 1-run lead, razor thin margin for error. First 2 hitters reach via the hit, and then the big strikeout.
Rays have a run, 6 hits. Dickerson looking for his first hit. And the fastball, that's strike 1.
Well, and he's got that kind of velocity to attack the inner half of the plate against Corey Dickerson, but it's got to be elevated. He wants that ball up by the hands. You know, he struck him out on a pitch that was similar his first time up. Try to crowd him, try to keep him from getting his arms extended where all the power is.
Foul, that's back a third. Reyes after it and almost turned in a heck of a play there with his back to the infield and ultimately sliding toward the bullpen. It's a great effort by Torres.
Yeah, at a bad angle. This is a tough angle. Look at this. Gonna keep your eye on everything and the ball, and it just was off the end of that glove. About another inch, and that ball's gonna be in the pocket.
So the count is 0-2. Rays had men at 2nd and 3rd, 1 out in the 5th inning. But Uvalde got Miller and ultimately Longoria on a long fly ball. Now 2 men on to start the 6th, 1 out. 2 strikes the count on Dickerson. Popped up again, foul. McCann looking for it, but it's out of play. Drury, Ryan McCann, and Nathan Eovaldi getting together here in a critical situation. Dickerson behind in the count. Morrison at first, Pierce at second. Each hitting his way aboard. One ball, 2 strikes.
See if he goes back to that fastball up and in. And pretty good at commanding that ball around the zone.
Squared away with the pitch he wants to the 1-2. Foul back, a fastball, and out over the plate a little bit. Up.
Corey Dickerson showing some quick hands there. I think he was anticipating that pitch. He was certainly ready for it. You see, not kind of spread that stance out just a little bit and thinking to be quick with the hands, get the barrel end of the bat to the baseball.
Two popped up the infield, and that's handled by Torreyes on the infield pop. So 2 gone.
Yeah, and Corey Dickerson cut down on the swing to try to put that ball in play, and he did that, but watch where the location is. This is where Eovaldi wanted it, up and in. Just can't quite get it there.
Well, Mikey Montook 0 for 2. Coming off an 0 for 4 yesterday. So this would be a good time for him to pick up his first hit of the series. Out and away. He's left a man on in the first, left another man aboard in the second, scored a run and left a man on in the 3rd inning. Left 2 men on in the 5th. They have 2 men on with 2 men out in the 6th. Lays off another pitch, low and away. Sliders out there. Only gave up 2 hits, no runs in 6 innings against Toronto. On the 24th, made 100 pitches exactly. Two and one.
Not giving in at all. 2-0. How about this? A 2-0 strike split. This is really where you've got to reach down and pitch, make pitches. With the runner in scoring position, close to working your way out of this inning, fall behind.
This is away, fastball. Still got plenty on that.
No, the adrenaline of being in this situation. I mean, you understand what's at stake. One big hit by the Rays and you feel like this game is blown open the way that Jake Odorizzi's throwing the ball right now.
Tap foul, takes the count full. One to nothing. It has been that way since the 3rd, when Brandon Guyer across the plate on a base hit by Evan Longoria. (3-2), and he walked him. So the bases are going to be loaded. Well, he started him with a slider, fell behind, and ultimately gives up the walk on that pitch. Pierce to third. Morrison up to second base, and Montauk at first. Kurt Casale will bat.
Well, this is the big battle, and the one thing that Kurt Casale knows is that Nathan Eovaldi has got to come out over the plate. Bases are juiced. There is no place to put them.
Casale looks at a pitch at the bottom of the zone for a strike. Kirby Yates loosening in the bullpen. Did he go? Tried to check and did. Morales on the call. It's 1-1.
It's the right call.
So they're pushing to 23 pitches in this inning. He has 100 now. And close there. He did not get the call.
You know, that's the same pitches as the second. Back-to-back pitches right on top of each other in that bottom away corner. And he doesn't get the call on either one.
Takes the count to 2-1. That's a strike. Well,
flip a coin.
2-2. Look at that corner down there.
Just peppering it with sliders.
Two. Popped up the right side. It's foul out of play. The high pitch count on the year for Eovaldi is 107. That came against Boston on May the 7th. He's at 103 right now. Been an extended sixth inning. A couple of hits and a walk. The Rays have the bases loaded with 2 outs. And a count of 2-2 on Kurt Casale. And that's ball 3. That fastball at 99 was wide. The count is full. The runners will be off with this 2-out, 3-2 pitch.
What's he going to throw? I say slider.
Well, he stayed with a slider to Montauk.
Yep.
So slider it is. Let's see.
We're going to go with.
And it's popped up. Right side. Ackley makes the catch.
Heater.
Went with a hard stop at 99. Popped him up. 1-0 Tampa Bay. Been a fun day at the Trop here. A 1-0 ball game. Jake Odorizzi giving up just one base runner. He retired the first 16 men to face him before Dustin Ackley reached on what was ruled an error on Brad Miller. Double play into that inning. Rays run came in the third, but Evan Longoria singled into right, scoring Brandon Guyer. Rays have had a couple threats since then, but no runs, and so it's 1-0 Tampa Bay as we move into the 7th inning. New York coming in to hit with the top of the order. So despite giving up that base runner on the error, the double play erased him, and Odorizzi has still faced only the minimum number of hitters through the first 6. We start the 7th with Jacoby Ellsbury in there. A ball, no strikes. Ellsbury has hit a fly ball to center and struck out in the 4th inning on a changeup. One of 5 strikeouts for Odorizzi so far. Lifted foul, that's headed for the seats, and is strike 1, 1-1. Old-fashioned pitchers duel here today, and then some. Two balls and a strike. Rizzi had made 83 pitches through the first 6. 2-1 to Ellsbury. Ground ball headed toward the middle. Miller's there. He gloves and throws, and that takes care of Ellsbury. One gone in the 7th.
Now, all the defensive shifts here by the Rays have worked out very well. Number of balls that have been hit up the middle that Rays infielder is able to make the play on here. Miller to his left, then got to make the throw. It's a good one.
Brett Gardner will be the next hitter. Gardner has struck out, hit a fly ball to left. Oh, that slow curve in there, strike 1.
Jake he's had a great game plan. His execution has been tremendous, and all of the pitches for him are really working, doing exactly what he wants them to do.
1-1.
You know, for the most part, and this is a big pitch here in this sequence, he's been pitching from out in front, so he's had the advantage in many of the counts here today.
It's going to be out of play, and he's ahead again. 1-2 here on Brett Gardner.
That's why that's such a big pitch in a sequence. If you get to that point, the difference of being 1-2 as opposed to 2-1, a lot of times for most pitchers will limit what you can do.
Upstairs, 2-2. Well, Odorizzi has had 4 full counts. These are the only times he's gone to a 3-ball count on any of the New York hitters. Gardner fouls one away, holding the count at 2-2. Starlin Castro is on deck. And we have a full count now on Gardner. Jake's pitch count 93. And ball 4 down and in. So he gives up the walk. Only the second base runner allowed today. And Castro's on his way to the plate. First base runner reached on the error. That was Ackley in the 6th. Now a 1-out walk to Gardner in the 7th. After the error, Odorizzi rolled up a double play pitch. Castro takes a pitch down and away.
And he could definitely use one of those right here. Been able to extend that pitch count a little bit here as you get up into the later innings at 95 now.
Over to first. Gardner is back in. First, keeping an eye on Gardner, who is 8 of 9 in the running game.
Well, it's what the Rays did to Eovaldi. You know, early on, the feeling was the way that he was throwing the ball, you were going to have to make something happen against him. You're going to have to put someone in motion. Rays thinking the same thing here with Gardner. Good base stealing.
Pitch is drilled deep into center field. Montuk's going to go back, and that one is out of here. A 1-0 pitch. Starlin Castro hits it out to the left of center field. Back toward the little triangle. Yankees get their first hit. It follows a walk. And now it's 2-1 New York.
Says it all.
He hasn't made any of those bad pitches. That one caught a lot of the plate, and Castro caught a lot of it. Here's McCann. Ball 1.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing. There have not been too many bad sequences at all by Jake Odorizzi. He has one walk, and then not too many mislocation pitches, and that one catches middle of the plate. Unfortunate series of events there.
Xavier Cedeno is up in the bullpen. And now you have to limit the damage. Brian McCann has been a tough hitter for Jake throughout his career. Takes a big cut there at a pitch over the plate. That caught plenty of the plate.
Yep, and that's exactly why you get that kind of a swing from McCann. Fortunate it just turns out to be a strike, and now Jake's got a chance to make a pitch here and put him away.
A 1-2 count. 100 pitches for Jake. He made 111 pitches against Toronto in his first outing of the year. And he misses down. 2-2. Back into the 7th inning. Tapper, right side. He gets it before it rolls foul and tags McCann.
And that was a smart play there too, because that ball looked like if the Rays would have let it go, it would have rolled foul. So you want to get to that baseball and attack it right away. Get it while it's fair and while McCann is not anywhere near first base.
Well, there's the home run to break up the no-hit bid, and at the same time put Jake and the Rays down by a run.
Yeah, well, I mean, very few mistakes made here by Jake Odorizzi in this game. That was one of them, and it cost the Rays big with 2 runs. A bit of a breather here with Jim Hickey going out to the mound.
Which counts at 102. Alex Rodriguez due up.
Want him to finish strong here. Retire Alex Rodriguez, finish off this inning, and then maybe the offense comes to life for him and get him a chance to get a win. It's going to be tough, though, because you see that back end of that New York Yankee bullpen warming now.
Yeah, Betances was up at the outset of this inning. That's why you hate to miss opportunities. The Rays leaving 2 men in scoring position in the 5th, and the bases loaded in the 6th. Rodriguez fouls it back, strike one. Two. Fastball up and by Alex Rodriguez. Ball, 2 strikes. Two and two, driving the fastball outside.
Now he knows that this is the end of his outing, so every pitch is going to be all he's got left.
Two, popped up, foul. That will carry out a play.
And more than likely his final hitter.
The 2-2. He got it. Strikes him out. Came with a fastball up to strike out Alex Rodriguez, but the Yankees get 2 runs on the home run by Starlin Castro. We're in the middle of the 7th inning now. 7th inning stretch coming up with the score. New York 2 and the Rays 1. And God Bless America to be sung by Caitlin Cassiano.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, through the oceans wide with far. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet home.
All right, Rays fans, it's time for the 7th inning stretch.
Rays baseball on Fox Sports Sun, brought to you by Jeep. Visit Jeep.com to learn more. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by your Southern Chevy dealers. On to the home half of the 7th inning at Tropicana Field. Rays trailing now. It's a 2-1 ball game. They'll face Dellin Betances on the hill, making his 24th appearance with a record of 1-2.
Well, and just look at the strikeout numbers. 22 in the 3rd innings, 44 strikeouts. I mean, you're talking really, it boils right down to it, 2 an inning.
Brandon Guyer leads off, and that pitch is a strike. He could not check on the curveball, strike 1. Well, the Yankees had hoped that Mark Teixeira might be able to start today. Did not start, but he also enters the game at first base here in the 7th inning.
You know, and we've seen this before from Betances. You know, you're waiting for that big explosive fastball to come in there. The Rays saw him earlier this season, and a lot of curveballs. Try to keep you off balance because you're looking heat.
There's some heat.
Yeah,
upstairs.
Well, that's why the curveball becomes effective.
Well, the Rays saw a lot of heat from Eovaldi. He made 105 pitches, 50 at 95 plus.
50.
Yeah,
it's 50 more than I ever threw.
And Guyer swings and misses the pitch in the dirt down to first on the breaking ball. Guyer a strikeout and the first out.
Well, Nathan Eovaldi was pretty fantastic today here for the New York Yankees. He gave up just the 1 run. You talk about all the heat, but other pitches were working too. He had the split, some breaking balls. And I'll tell you, he pitched out of a couple of jams. The Rays had some opportunities to push the lead out to 2 or 3, and he came up with big pitches in tight spots.
Yeah, and what you get when you don't cash in on scoring opportunities in the 5th and the 6th, you get Betances. And then the rest of the bullpen and those strong arms. Strike 1 to Brad Miller.
No, and you talk about a guy coming downhill at you, tall, big reach on the mound. Looks like he's handing that ball to Brian McCann.
2 strikes, just a little piece of that one. Chopper foul. Baldelli makes the pickup and disperses a souvenir. Broken bat looper left side, and Torreyes handles that. 2 outs here in the 7th.
Well,
Evan Longoria stepping up. Cedeno's up in the Rays bullpen.
He's got a history with this team, a history in big moments. This would be.
Well, when the Rays left men at 2nd and 3rd in the 5th, Evan hit a 99-mile-per-hour fastball to the wall and right, only to have it caught.
Yeah, right
with the final out.
Right at the wall. And you're right, a couple more feet and the Rays would have a huge cushion.
Yeah, you might not even be seeing Betances. You don't know what happens after that. One and one.
That breaking ball, 84 miles an hour, just a hair too early.
He's attacking with the curveball.
This is what he did the last time the Rays saw him. A lot of these breaking balls. You're just so geared up waiting for that fastball that it's tough to handle both.
And the quality of those pitches can be so good that at times when he does make a mistake with them, he gets by with it. I mean, you're trying to get ready for 99. And here comes that curveball. And there it is, strike 3 call. Longoria caught looking. And we go to the 8th, 2-1 New York. Two-to-one ball game. The Rays led 1-0 until the 7th inning. The Yankees were without a hit until that inning. And after Brett Gardner walked, Chico DeRizzi surrendered a home run to center field to Starlin Castro, making it 2-1. He lost the no-hitter with 1 out in the 7th. He now gives way to Xavier Cedeno.
Well, Xavier Cedeno on for the 19th time, 13 innings of work, 16 strikeouts. Starting to get himself back into form. The one thing that you know about Cedeno when he comes into the game, everything that he delivers towards the plate is going to have movement to it. Nothing straight.
Didi Gregorius takes the first pitch, and it's a curveball, strike 1.
Well, curveball cutter. That is the forte of Cedeno. Everything with a wrinkle.
High pop right side. Pierce backpedaling. Souza coming in from right, and they've had a friendly little history out there of get-togethers. That time Souza makes the catch, and no minor traffic accidents this time.
Well, it's an easier play for the outfielder moving in than it is for that second baseman or infielder that has that ball directly over his head. I mean, Pierce could have absolutely made that play, but Souza Jr. makes it look easier.
Hicks swings and he misses, strike 1. Couple of ground ball outs handled by Pierce at second base from Aaron Hicks. That's a strike 0-2. Big lefty. Andrew Miller up in the bullpen. It's fouled out of play the other way. It's been a fun ball game. The Rays with a couple shots left Speaking of fun, His Honor Judge Jim Case stopped by the booth the other day with his beautiful child bride Janice, and we just wanted to mention their 33rd anniversary.
Congratulations.
So we are happy to send best wishes along. Ground ball to short. Miller's throw is right there. 2 gone. 2 up, 2 down against Cedeno in the 8th. Here's what's coming up tomorrow when the Rays hit the road. On Rays Live, the pregame show presented by your Gulf Coast Honda dealer, Matt Andrees, on the mound in Kansas City. And we'll hear from Matt, and Memorial Day festivities all on Rays Live, the pregame tomorrow. It's the beginning of a 3-city road trip for the Rays. Now Teixeira. First pitch is a ball. Teixeira taking over at first in the bottom of the 7th. Hits in the 8th. 2-0. The Rays will be going into Kansas City for 3, Minnesota for 4, and then Arizona for 3. Back here at the Trop on Friday, the 10th of June, with Houston in. The Astros, the Mariners, and the Giants will be in on the next homestand. Ball 3. 3-1. Kansas City, where the Rays are headed, leading the White Sox 2-1 in the bottom of the 4th of their game. Kansas City and Chicago each a half game behind Cleveland. Broken bat, fly ball to center. Matuk's there to catch it. 3 up, 3 down. Bottom of the 8th coming. Rays are down 2-1. Rays baseball on Fox Sports Sun is brought to you by Jeep. Visit Jeep.com to learn more. By Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. And by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers. Bottom of the 8th, final game of the homestand. The Rays down 2-1. Andrew Miller, the lanky lefty, becomes pitcher number 3.
Same thing with the strikeout numbers. Look at that, 35, 19 2/3, opponent's average of 169.
Yeah, this is exactly the way the Yankees envisioned it, with Betances and Miller and Chapman all available at the end of games.
Well, and absolutely true, no question about it, but the Rays are one swing away from tying this thing up, and one of the most prolific teams in Major League Baseball with the home run ball. And they got a lot of guys that are capable. That's what makes them so dangerous.
1-1.
Trev May,
How
second,
about that?
tied with Miller. Would you have pegged Trev May
No.
for top of the list?
Probably not.
We're going to get a chance to see him.
Yep. 4 games against the Twins.
Why couldn't it be 5?
The tap going to be foul outside of third. 2-2. Rasmal Ramirez loosening in the Rays bullpen. Two the count to Pierce. Pierce out on strikes. That's 10 strikeouts for New York pitching in this game.
Now there's the breaking ball and the ability to sweep it and get some depth with it. Look at that, one side of the plate to the other. So tough to barrel that pitch.
Logan Morrison takes one low. And a strike. Rays won yesterday 9-5 after dropping the first game to New York 4-1, and a 2-1 game going in this one. Morrison fouls it out of play. Morrison 0 for 5 in his career against this lefty. That runs the count to 2-2. And for a left-handed hitter, this really is an extreme experience with what Miller has to feature.
Think about that breaking ball to Steve Pierce, and now picture that moving away from you, starting it just off the plate and running it all the way off the corner. Like, that's just not fair.
Strike 3 call.
And you can see Logan Morrison right there with a little bit of a buckle, because, you know, Andrew Miller's got the big fastball too, and then he can rip that breaking ball.
Well, their bullpen has faced 5 hitters, 4 strikeouts. And here's Steven Souza Jr. Strike 1.
And both of these relievers with the high octane heat have been getting the job done with the breaking stuff. Betances and now Miller. It's almost like the fastball's a decoy. For Betances it was a show pitch. I mean, he would show you the heater, then come right back with the hook.
Yep. And then right there was a fastball at 95 for Miller.
Yeah, and you've got to account for it. But yet they've got devastating breaking stuff too.
Colomé throwing lightly in the bullpen. Souza taking that pitch down and in.
Well, and then here comes the breaking ball down and in, right off of it. At least that's what he should do.
He does, and strikes out the side. We go to the ninth. It's 2-1 New York. Canada Field. Ball game moves into the ninth inning. 2-1. Rays live the post game coming up next. Well, what a pitching duel it has been here at the Trop today. We'll hear from Kevin Cash in the manager's post game press conference. Emily Austin will have interviews from the clubhouse. All coming up. Rays live the post game with Doug, Todd, Orestes, and Emily. You never know who else might drop by.
With a full boat going today.
Yep. Erasmo Ramirez to pitch the ninth. First pitch to Ronald Torreyes is fouled. Torreyes has struck out and grounded into a double play after Dustin Ackley reached on the error in the sixth inning. Torreyes grounded into a 4-6-3 double play. One and one now. And there's Chapman. Ground ball. Pierce with the pickup. Torreyes is out 4-3. So Erasmo on here to hold the Yankees and give the Rays a final shot with Aroldis Chapman slated to enter this game following the performances of Betances and Miller.
Boy, how about those two guys? The stuff that they have and the way that they use their fastballs is almost a show pitch for Betances for sure, but the breaking ball is what stood out about the outings of Betances and Miller. And still punch out 5 out of 6.
Strike one on Ellsbury. Yeah, Betances struck out 2 of the 3 he faced. Miller struck out all 3.
You get the feeling that these guys try to outdo each other every outing too. Well, I got 2. Well, that's all right. I have 3.
Ground ball. Miller up with this one. A couple of ground ball outs here thrown by Ramirez. 2 up, 2 down. Brett Gardner on his way to the plate. Erasmo out here after he got a little rest in that bullpen. This guy has been so important to the Rays. Gardner, a ground ball. Pierce, gloves and throws. 3 ground balls. 1, 2, 3 go the Yankees. Dickerson, Montook, and Casale due up for the Rays. Starlin Castro has the only hit of the game for New York. It came immediately following a walk to Brett Gardner. A home run to center. And it's 2-1. Rays coming in ahead in the bottom of the 9th inning. And Aroldis Chapman, who pitched here in the first game of this series Friday night, makes his 10th appearance of the year.
Well, 13 strikeouts, 8 in the third, and this is a guy that you're going to see use that fastball a lot. Triple digits with just about every delivery. The other night he was between 99 and 101.
Corey Dickerson leads off against him. Sends one down the left side. That ball back toward the corner and is foul and out of play. How about that? Boy, that ball tracking down the line in that low wall where it's 315. And it's just foul.
Almost sliced this thing right around the pole. That close.
One strike to count to Dickerson. Rays down by a run. Bottom of the 9th, having allowed just 1 hit. It's an uphill battle against Chapman. But they're only down by 1. And this one is foul back. Rays have lost only 1 other game when allowing 1 hit, and that was in May of 2014 here at the Trop, and they lost a 3-2 decision to Oakland. Eric Bedard started that game And the only hit was a home run by Brandon Moss, but Rays pitching walked 7 in that game. They're giving up 1 hit and 1 walk in this one. Close. What a take by Dickerson. At the Trop here, the scoreboard had that one 103 miles per hour. Sometimes you take a pitch because you have to.
That pitch is a rumor. Nobody saw it.
Swing and a miss. 100 on that one. And Chapman picks up the strikeout.
I tell you that the hand speed, stay behind the baseball, drive it. It just. Compact, and then here he comes.
This trio has struck out 6 of 7. And here's Mikey Matuk. Fouling it out of play, strike 1. Matuk 0 for 2 with a walk. Desmond Jennings has emerged on deck to Sally Dew, but Jennings loosening in the on deck circle. One and one. Up the right side. Hicks into foul territory, almost overran it, and reaches back and miraculously makes the catch. He did overrun it and then had to make that last second adjustment.
And catch it low. You're absolutely right. He got a good jump on this, was positioned well. And right here, as he peeked to the wall, lost sight of that ball for just a second, and then realizes, uh-oh, this is behind me. Nice adjustment at the end.
Well, here's Desmond Jennings. Pinch hitting. And he takes the pitch for a ball. Desmond called out on strikes here Friday night on a pitch at 101 to end the game when the Yankees took the first game 4-1. They lead 2-1 right now. A check swing and a hopper foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Seen a couple of sliders from Chapman, as well as the overpowering heat. Jennings battling, fouls it, forcing another 1-2 pitch. Rays down to their final strike. They have 6 hits. The Yankees have 1. Yankees have 2 runs. The Rays only 1. That'll do it. 102. The velocity on that fastball. 3 up, 3 down go the Rays in the 9th, and the Yankees win this one 2-1. Despite Jake Odorizzi giving up only 1 hit. Closing pitch, fastball, 102 for the Yankees. 2 runs a hit, a man left, nobody left. 1 run, 6 hits, 1 error for the Rays, and 8 men left. Evaldi the winner. Chapman picks up the save. Odorizzi the losing pitcher before 19,748. 2 hours and 45 minutes, the time of this game. For Ron Anderson and the rest of our crew, Dwayne Stats, hope you've enjoyed the telecast. If not the outcome, we'll be with you from Kansas City tomorrow night at 7:30. Our coverage begins. Rays Live, the postgame presented by Checkers, is next.